I was walking out the door of the school, and it was about 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, so most of the teachers had gone home. I was supposed to be staying behind for driver's ed, but we weren't having driver's ed that day, and I didn't know it. So as I walked out the door of the hallway near the English wing, the door behind me closed and locked. I was waiting for Mom to pick me up long before the day of cell phones, obviously in high school, and wasn't exactly sure how I was going to get home or what I was going to do next, and began to get a little frustrated with that, a little annoyed with that. And then a car pulls up, and these guys jump out of the car. They come charging at me. One of them has a knife in his hand, and they're really threatening. They're really presenting themselves as a hazard. And of course, I was quite the smart aleck in high school. And this guy looks at me and he says, "Are you dating so-and-so?" And I won't say her name on here because she's still a friend on Facebook. But he said, "Are you dating so-and-so?" And I said, "Well, yeah, that's my girlfriend." He said, "No, that's my girlfriend." And I said, "Well, that's funny that you think she's your girlfriend because she asked me out." And that didn't make him very happy. So they started charging at me again, and I think he really wanted to make the point that I was to leave this girl alone. And I was honestly scared. I was 14 or 15 years old. Here's 4 or 5 guys coming at me. They were all older than me. I had no idea what to do, and I was a bit terrified. And maybe you've had that moment in your life when you feel like all of the world is closing in around you. Your finances are coming in on one side. You got troubles with your relationship. Maybe the job's not what you hoped it to be, or your career's not advancing like you had expected it to be. And all of those things feel like they're closing in from all directions all at once. And you feel absolutely overwhelmed. Like there is nobody fighting on your side. It's just you against the whole world, and there's no hope. And I felt like that in that moment. I wasn't sure if they were just going to leave me hurt or if they were going to leave me dead. I had no idea. Then out of nowhere, I never heard the door behind me open, but this hand came down over my shoulder, no exaggeration, rested on my shoulder, and his fingers came down past my collarbone. And I hear this deep bellowing voice say something in Spanish. And the guy that had his knife dropped it and ran, and the rest of them took off. And I was like, yeah, you should be afraid. And when I turned around, all I saw was a belly button. And I looked up at this ginormous guy standing behind me. And he sticks his hand out to shake my hand. And when he grips it, there's nothing left but my thumbnail. And he says to me, "Hi, I'm Matthew Kiley. I'm a friend of your sister's. And those guys won't be back." Now, when I read in Scripture in 2 Chronicles chapter 20, it says... and I'm in the Message, so there's no exact verse number here, roughly around 21. It says, "It happened, men from Ammon and from Moab and from Mount Seir have shown up. You didn't let Israel touch them when we got here. At first, we detoured around them and didn't lay a hand on them. And now they've come to kick us out of the country you gave us, oh dear God. Won't you take care of them? We're helpless before this vandal horde ready to attack us. We don't know what to do. God, we're looking to you." Everyone in Judah was there, little children, wives and sons, all present and attentive to God. They're listening. "God, we've cried out to you. We're terrified. These people are surrounding us. This horde of vandals, we don't even know what to do with them. How are we going to save our own lives? We can't protect ourselves from these armies." Now, I want you to go back and read 2 Chronicles chapter 20, especially if you've got a copy of the Message. If not, just go to YouVersion. You can get it online. It's free. Download that version of the Bible and read 2 Chronicles chapter 20 in the Message. I'm going to skip ahead here. God gave them very specific instructions. And let me sum it up for you. This is not your fight. That's my job. Recently, as we were making a transition, I began to kind of feel overwhelmed with the finances and the idea of things changing so fast. And God, what's going to happen next? And we're making these huge commitments, and we have no idea what's going to happen with that. And God said, "Your name's not Jireh. Mine is. Your job is to be obedient and to trust me. My job is to provide." And I think what God's telling us now, like he told the spies, like he told the Israelites, like he told Joshua over and over again, be bold. Be strong. The battle belongs to me. It's not by might, it's not by power, it's by my Spirit. And God says to us over and over again, let me handle this. If you'll just trust me to handle this, I got this. I want you to let those words sink in. Because over and over and over again, where there's the battle against sin, the battle against our enemies, the battle against the flesh, the battle against the enemy, Satan himself, the old dog, the liar, the dragon from the pit of hell. In every one of those instances, our God rises up and he says, I got this. Will you trust me? As soon as they started shouting and praising, God set ambushes against the men of Ammon and Moab and Mount Seir. As they were attacking Judah, they all ended up dead. The Ammonites and the Moabites mistakenly attacked those from Mount Seir and massacred them. Then, further confused, they went at each other, and all of them ended up killed. I want you to take a moment and just take all of those burdens that are holding you down. Finances, relationships, kids, college, career, whatever it is. And I want you to put them under a banner of praise. I want you to lay them out there and say, God, this is your problem. Because I'm your child, and you're my daddy. You're Abba, and I need you to handle this. And I'm not going to touch it again. I'm just going to praise you that you got this. And trust me, when Daddy says, I'm coming and I got this, all you need to do is stand back and watch and say thank you. I'm J Loren Norris with Tell It Like It Is TV. Daddy's got this.